Cool. I get quality options twice at least. Let's play a game that I don't rage at. Seems like a good plan. Yeah, I am not touching Crash again. That did not go well. Hey, Spider. Let's see if this manages to annoy me. Let me guess, the timer's not going to start, or the game's going to crash halfway through. Anything could happen. Welcome back, dudes. Yeah, sorry about earlier. I hate doing that.
Are you okay?
But that wasn't going to go any better if I kept playing.
That's nothing.
Because the levels only get harder.
Bleeding from the accident.
Soma's our friend.
Take this.
For now.
No, that's for later, for the scan.
It's green.
Ashley, I need to tell you something.
Simon, please don't make this weird.
Sat down, I got all set up, I was all ready to have a nice day that I sort of
Why now?
bigged up for 2 weeks and then just, nah, wasn't having any of it.
Enough time.
For what?
Alright, time to start at least. Have some amount of knowing what to do. I mean, I kind of know what to do in Crash for the most part. You just go forward and don't die. But that seemed to be kind of difficult for me.
Are you all right? Yeah, just a bad.
I was just dying repeatedly to the same things. It stopped being fun in like the 3rd or 4th level.
Don't worry, I got it somewhere.
Okay, great. Well, I'll see you in a couple of hours then.
Okay, see you soon. There it is.
But at least in this, usually if anything goes wrong, it's my fault.
Feels like milk, but the taste.
And I come to accept that.
Penny.
Still no 101. Why am I clicking already? Gotta wait a while. Yeah, it's back to grinding for 12 seconds of time save. My best possible is still like a 130. I've got to find like another 30 seconds in order to just get my best possible time down to subcosmic. Getting an actual run down that far is going to take a lot more work, so I don't know what other time saves he uses.
I guessed it. Hello? Amazing. Dr. Munchie?
I'll first try to get behind Munchie.
Oh, hi. Didn't hear you come in.
Oh, no.
Jarrett, right?
Dr. Munchie?
Damn it.
Well, it's just Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually, you're helping me right now.
Is this part of your thesis?
Yeah, rip. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a study
How's it going?
with my colleague Paul Berg. We hope to design a gentle way to work with brain reconstruction. To help
Never understood that trait. You basically just
Oh,
jump into the door, the top of the door frame,
tracer fluid?
and then just keep like swiping your mouse to the right to try and get behind Munchie. If you get it just right, you can end up stood like right behind him, like stuck against his back. So when it releases your camera and you can click in the chair, you basically just spin to the left and click it. You don't have to run towards it. You try burning rubber through? Ooh.
All right. Let me just
Yeah,
figure this
it
out.
looks rougher.
You are
You're not getting to front load the road rages.
Toronto, Canada, David Munchie.
It makes more sense
Born
though for time.
1988, July 16th.
Right.
Flat neurograph, version 6. Good. All files in
Yeah, like
Well, this
it'd be
version-
quicker for us
Never heard
in.
about as much as getting your picture taken.
Indian stock cameras would steal their souls.
There's probably a quicker way using road rages later on in any percent,
Ready?
but
Please.
we don't do them later on because if they go wrong, they go terribly, and no one wants that in a run. But for something like Big Surf Island, you've got so little time for the entire run because it's like 20 odd minutes. You can't really afford to just do what's comfortable. You have to do what's fast, even if it drives you insane doing so.
Mr. Munchie?
Munchie, the final boss fight. That would have been an interesting twist. Manual savings allowed? You can save your game at any point. If you want to make a safety save before any of the jumps, that's perfectly fine. We don't have a quit outs, no quit outs distinction like Amnesia does. Oh, shit. Alright, I know which audio cue it is now. I just did that slightly too early. Yeah, Amnesia used to be quit outs and no quit outs were the same leaderboard. It was just any percent. The reason they split it was because of load warping. And Soma doesn't have any load warping things, so there is no leaderboard
that's
split.
Nothing. It's just my brain can't stop bleeding from the accident.
It'd be nice if there was one,
Here, take
because there'd
this.
be a faster any percent.
No, that's for later, for the scan.
It's
We
green.
did used to have the distinction of RTA and single seg, but those got dropped because a lot of people just saw it as kind of
Simon,
pointless,
Please don't make this
or as a mark of...
No, it's not like that.
Some people ended up calling it like a mark of shame.
Why now?
Who's David Munchie?
You know, like, you got a perfectly valid
Because I never
time,
enough
like,
time.
decently far up the leaderboards, but
For what?
because you fell off and had to reload a save at one point, you had to put RTA next to your run, which didn't make any difference. You were still faster than most people on the board.
Yeah, I'm up.
So that eventually just got dropped.
Yeah, that's me.
My name is David
It used to come from...
The brain scan.
Because like the Amnesia boards and
You all right?
Yeah.
the way things were run kind of came from
Are we still on for today?
Yeah, that's why I'm calling.
Speed Demos Archive, which was much more heavily based around RTA runs and single seg.
Don't worry, I got it somewhere.
Okay, great. Well, see you in a couple of hours then.
Okay, see you soon.
Like any kind of dying and reloading was seen as a segmented run, which was kind of frowned upon. But that kind of mentality has gone away recently.
There it is.
So it all just got dropped to clean it up.
Feels like milk, but the taste, it's like sucking on a penny.
Who's Penny? What's up? Any reason he sleeps fully clothed? Saves time. Are you only just learning you don't have to pick up the keys? I don't think I even picked up the keys when I played this casually. Yeah, it's literally grab bottle, swig bottle, click door. That's it.
Won't find me in a phone booth. All a big setup.
Why am I still clicking? I'm just sat here clicking like a moron because I didn't see the phone come up. Pick up everything %.
I guessed it. Hello? That's amazing. Dr. Munchie?
hi. Didn't hear you come in.
No.
Simon Jarrett, right?
Dr. Munchie?
Well, it's just Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually, you're helping me right now.
Is
The
this
extra
part of your
weight on
music work?
Simon.
Yeah, it's a study I'm doing with my colleague.
Yeah, the
Carl
keys
Berger.
transfer through the
We
seat.
hope to design a
He
general
doesn't,
way
but
to work
the
with brain
keys
reconstruction
do.
to help people like you. Oh, did you take the tracer fluid?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Great. Well, we can start whenever you're ready.
If you're streaming it in future, dudes, I'll definitely be there to watch. Provided I'm not asleep.
All right, let me just get this out of the way. You are Simon Jarrett, correct?
Right.
Toronto, Canada, Munchie. Born 1988, July 16.
Right.
Flat neurograph, version 6. Good. All files in order.
I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that the information that Munchie reads off here about like Simon's birth date and all his personal details don't line up with what he actually types in and what appears later in the game where you go and find your scan.
Say
I think he actually typed your information in wrong. That must be why all of this happens. Damn it, Munchie.
What happened? Hello?
Entire stories caused by a typo. I believe it. That's why he wasn't a doctor. His PhD, like, final thesis was marred with typos. They wouldn't accept it. There's so many like thumping sounds during that sequence that sound the same. It can be hard to pick out the right one.
Service console optional 3, including pilot seat activated.
Yeah, when Munchie says that he's working on it, it just means that he's like sent off in the post for one of those doctorates by post and he's waiting for it to come back. He's not actually done any real research. He's just like picked one from a list that he wants, paid the money, and he'll get it in the post a few weeks later. Welcome back, Ben. Yeah, I'm back. I didn't want to like. I didn't want to not stream tonight, and I felt kind of bad for just like crashing out in half an hour earlier. So I'm back with something I know I'll enjoy. But welcome back, and I apologize again for earlier. I wanted to enjoy Crash, but that's something I'll have to just like endure in my own time. It's not something I should be doing on stream. Mavid Dunshee. Oh, come on. Jumped a bit too soon. I don't know, like, for the most part, I was enjoying it, apart from... Obviously, there was a lot of areas where I was just dying over and over again for stupid reasons. Like, either I'm not understanding it, or the controls were just clunky to the point where I didn't get on with them. Like, I thought I was jumping far enough, but wasn't. Or I thought I was jumping just on top of something, and I was either going, like, too short or too far and falling off it.
It's green.
Like, depth perception in that game is tricky.
Simon, please don't make this weird.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah, I can remember now why I never really got that far as a kid in that game.
Why is there never enough time?
Never went back and played 2 or 3.
For what?
That said, I used to love playing Crash Bash, but that's a completely different game.
Yeah, I'm up.
Hi, Simon Jarrett?
Yeah, that's me.
My name is David Munchie. We spoke earlier.
The brain scan.
Yeah, my original intention was to do Crash like all of this week, but
Bad dream. Are we still
that's not happening.
That's why I'm calling. I wanted to remind you to drink the tracer fluid I sent you. It'll help me capture a better image of the damages.
Don't worry, I got it somewhere.
Okay, great. Well, see you in a couple of hours then.
Okay, see you
Which,
soon.
in all honesty, I should have really seen that coming, because in all of the polls where I put Crash in as an option, it got like one of the least number of votes. I should have just left it.
Smells like milk, but the taste.
Yeah, I originally stopped earlier and said that I'd be back tomorrow, but I still wanted to stream tonight. I got set up for everything and it never happened, so... Yeah, other games that I've played casually on stream, I've gone away and secretly played a little bit offline beforehand just to see if it's something that I'm comfortable with playing. I should have done that with Crash, but I didn't really want to. But I've learnt my mistake.
Won't find me in a voting booth.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah, hopefully this could be a bit more enjoyable than Crash was. I say I've got time save in Omicron now, taking a different route. So maybe I'll be able to get my second place back tonight if I get a somewhat stable run to that point. And Yoshida doesn't, like, destroy me, which he seems to like doing.
I guessed it. Hello? That's amazing. Dr. Munchie?
He really likes doing.
Oh, hi. Didn't hear you come in.
Stay, damn it.
Simon Jarrett, right?
Dr. Munchie?
Well, it's just Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually, you're helping.
Yeah, so flinging yourself at Munchie here, you have...
Does this work?
Yeah.
Usually you'll just kind of like catch on his shoulder and fall back to here, but you can stay behind him. You can also go all the way around and come back this side of him. And one time I've managed to get stuck on that lamp behind him.
Yes, I did.
Great. Well, we can start whenever you're ready.
But you're just trying to like perfectly arc yourself around the room to get into specific spots. And if you can time it just right, you'll stick there. It doesn't happen often. I managed to get behind him on my ESA run, which I was super happy about.
All right. Let me just get this out of the way. You are Simon Jarrett, correct?
Right.
Toronto, Canada. David Munchie. Born 1988, July 16th.
Right.
Flat neurograph. Version 6. Good.
Alright, can I get past Upsilon this time,
It's
please?
just a scan. It'll hurt
That'd be
about
nice.
as much as getting your picture taken.
Indians thought cameras would steal their souls.
That's so. Well, let's hope they're wrong. Ready?
There's only so many times you can hear
Say
this
cheese.
intro and not get tired of it.
What happened? Hello? Mr. Munchie?
No. I don't know if it actually helps or not, but every time I'm trying to listen to these conversations, I'm looking away from the screen and just trying to like focus on the audio only, like, without distracting myself. Just kind of listening carefully. I don't know, I feel I can listen more if I'm not looking at the screen. That might just be me. Or I might just be full of shit.
Optimum 3, including pilot seat activated. Tool chip found. Tool chip.
Neither route around that robot arm actually saves any more time than the other. It can just be fun to jump off the little ladder thing.
What was that?
I think you have more chance of getting stuck going that way. Or hitting your head or something. That was smooth. Right, can I land on the railing this time? That's not the railing. Jump too late. So when I said I was switching back to a game that I enjoyed more,
Are you okay, Simon? I think you're bleeding.
Oh, that's nothing. It's just my brain can't stop bleeding.
apparently Upsilon Inside is endgame difficulty
Here,
now.
take this.
No, that's for later, for the scan.
It's green.
Ashley, I need to tell you something.
Upsilon percent. It goes to show that you can't like
No,
take
it's not like
anything
that.
in this sort of game for granted, though. Like even jumps that you think are super simple can bite you if you let them.
Why is there never enough time?
For what?
But I've jumped too early and I've jumped too late now, so hopefully this one will be just right.
Yeah, I'm up.
Hi, Simon
It wouldn't be so bad if we could start from Upsilon awake.
David Munchie. We spoke earlier.
The brain scan. I remember.
Are you all right?
Yeah, just a bad dream. Are we still on for today?
Yeah, that's why I'm calling.
Simon's jeans are right there. Oh, yeah, he's wearing his jeans. Okay. He does just sleep in his clothes.
Don't worry, I got it.
I've honestly never looked down here before.
Well, I'll see you in a couple of hours then.
Okay, see you soon.
He does save right before the first wildflower.
There it is.
Maybe? I can't remember where the autosaves are.
Feels like milk, but the taste.
I don't think you're wrong, I just can't 100% remember. I think it does. I think just as you go into the room, there's an invisible wall that you go through. Kind of a weird place to put it though, because you're at a transition. Like, usually Friction will put the autosaves just before and just after dangerous points. But up the top of those stairs, you're a little way past what would be considered dangerous then. And you're right before a level transition. I would have put it just in the vent. The wildflower's dangerous. Yeah, you're right. He is a little bit bitey.
I guessed it. Hello? That's amazing. Dr. Munchie?
Now, more opportunities to get behind Munchie.
Oh, hi. Didn't hear
Go
you
on.
come in.
Behind,
Simon
damn it.
Jarrett, right?
Dr. Munchie?
Well, it's just Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually, you're helping me right now.
Is this part of
I
your
see your
thesis
climber
work?
chair thing. I did.
It's a study I'm doing with my colleague.
Is that
Paul
literally
Hurd.
just like clicking on it and then
Helping
immediately
design a
holding
better way
S
to work with brain reconstruction
to get out of it
to
again?
help people like you. Oh, did you take the tracer fluid?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Great. Well, we can start whenever you're ready.
It doesn't actually like manipulate the gameplay, so I guess it could go in no major glitches as a thing you can do to just mess around as well. Like you don't save any time doing it.
All right. Let me just get this out of the way. You are Simon Jarrett, correct?
Right.
Toronto, Canada. Munchie. Born 19.
Before Simon and Kath finished talking about his suit,
Version 6. Good.
I thought you were going to
It's just a scan.
sit down after pushing down the lever, and then as soon as you clicked it, you just hold S.
So, well,
Like,
let's
do you
hope
get
you're
like?
wrong.
Is there a little like?
Ready? Say cheese.
How much time have you got to press it? Usually, are you talking like half a second, couple seconds?
What happened?
Although usually the conversation at that point is about
Mr. Munchie?
the friends that Simon would have. Okay. That was a bit slow.
Service console optional 3, including
Ultimately, my goal with streaming though was to do like one casual playthrough each month, but I might have to rethink that because I'm kind of running out of ideas to play for casual things, and Crash was like the last big one that I wanted to do on the list. Yeah. I think I might have to wait a little while before I do another one. Or at least give it a good test beforehand. I've had a few people say that I should do Need for Speed Underground 1. Problem is that game gets really repetitive really quickly.
What was that?
Yeah, I did like how you you interacted with, or you're sort of watching the Ross cutscene from Out of Bounds. That was not from Out of Bounds, from the side. That was a pretty cool perspective. Can I get the jump in this time? Whatever. Not really a fan of the damage there. If you get just the right jump, you don't take any damage on that fence. Oh, this is terribly slow. I took a big hit there. It's cool to see things still being found, though. Useful or not, it's still fun to see. Gonna waste time.
doesn't hurt anymore.
Hey, are you there? I found the dome ceiling.
Oh, that's better.
Hey.
Simon, was it?
I'm also locked in
Jared,
place here
Simon
now.
Jared.
Hi, Simon.
So with this particular cutscene, you can line up the crosshairs on the screen,
I was hoping
and
you'd
then
know
as long as
about
you
this.
keep looking at it for a certain amount of time, it will start this cutscene.
Where to even
But you
begin?
can look
What is
away
this
before that's
place?
finished,
How did I
walk
get here?
anywhere in the
And why do
room,
the
and as long as you
robots
look
look like
back
they're
at this
people?
screen at some point, it
Well,
will
you're at
continue to like
Really?
build up
Never
until
been
it
there
starts the
before?
cutscene.
Where did you work?
The Grimoire
So
is
you
the
can trigger
Is
this
that
from
really
anywhere.
important?
No, I mean, where did you
It
work?
wastes a bit of
That's
time,
true.
but
I
it's kind of
don't know
fun.
what that is.
That's unexpected. Did you come directly from Toronto?
Yeah, I did. And it was very unexpected.
Have you seen any people, like staff or field technicians?
Only robots.
Just kind of talk to
Crazy
Kath from across the room.
Except for one.
You can also go like all the way out of this room, go down like to the other end of the map, and as long as you look back at this screen, wherever you are, you can start this. So you can go all the way back to the vent at the start,
Whoa!
trigger this.
What's going on?
I think this place is about to collapse. What do I do?
Simon, come to Lambda.
How do I get there?
There are sound trains connecting all the sites. Find one and come here. I'll wait for you.
But I was trying to turn around and get the flower while looking in this direction to try and overlap the two, but it didn't work.
Shit, where should I? Oh,
It's useless as well, yeah. I was trying to save a bit of time. But I couldn't turn around enough to look at the screen while still being able to click the flower. Just casually start a conversation with Kath like, ooh, what's this thing?
What the hell? How is this possible?
I still, every time I start this cutscene, I look straight towards that sheet thinking, ooh, flight time. The Wildflowers run really is also like really fun to do. It takes you to a lot of areas that you wouldn't usually go to in either any percent or no major glitches. Can I get a run started? That'd be brilliant.
Are you okay, Simon? I think you're bleeding.
Oh, that's nothing.
Right, falling off that jump just
My
wastes like
brain
10
can't stop
seconds.
bleeding from the accident.
And I'm already like 15 behind at that point.
Here, take this.
No, that's for the scan.
It's green.
Ashley, I need to tell you something.
Simon, please don't make this weird.
Oh, don't worry about that.
No, it's not like that.
Sometimes like interacting with chat actually helps me concentrate more than just
Who's David
playing
Lynch?
does.
Why is there never enough time?
Sometimes I autopilot things better than I do
What?
like actually trying to play the game. Especially with this game.
yeah, I'm up.
Hi.
Like any percent runs, if I'm not on autopilot, I'm overthinking things and I get everything wrong.
Spoke earlier?
The brain's
And then if chat starts to pick up an activity, I'm trying to respond to that and just everything works
Are we
first
still on
try.
today?
Yeah, that's why I'm calling. I wanted to remind you to drink the tracer fluid I sent you. It'll help me capture a better image of the damages.
Don't worry, I got it somewhere.
Okay, great. Well, see you in a couple of hours then.
Okay.
Both times
see
she
you
looked, I've been in an apartment. Hey, it's a nice apartment.
soon. There it is. Feels like milk, but the taste.
Yeah, streaming is good fun.
On a penny.
It can be a little tricky to get into if you've never done it before. It's like just looking at Jamie, holy shit, like he went from not streaming like pretty much ever to look at the time he's got in Amnesia. That's his first speed game and he's been running it for like 5 days. And he's already blown my time out of the water.
Won't find me in a voting booth.
Like it's noticeable just watching his streams that in the space of like 4 or 5 days, he's gone from shit scared and not knowing how to do a lot of the stuff with streaming to comfortably entertaining chat for an hour or two. Bopping everything in a week. Exactly. Just every single stream was like minutes of time saved.
Hello? I guess Dr. Munchie? That's amazing.
Beautiful keypad presses. Yeah, get another attempt at this though.
Didn't hear you come in.
No.
Simon
Damn it.
Barrett, right?
Dr. Munchie?
Well, it's,
Almost got
it's
behind the
Mr.
lamp again.
Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually, you're helping me right now.
Is this part of your thesis work?
Yeah, it's a study I'm doing with my colleague Paul Berg. We hope to design a gentle way to work with.
I don't
the
get
brain
on well with frictional
to
games.
help people like you. Oh, did you take the tracer fluid?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Great. Well, we can start whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Jamie does incredibly well when he puts his mind to something. I remember when we were at university, like if he enjoyed a subject that we were doing, just the amount of work that he would crank out like super fast was just insane. If he wasn't enjoying it,
All right.
didn't really get much done.
Get this out of the way.
But as soon as he found that one thing that he enjoyed, just
Right.
hands down, it was incredible.
Munchie, born 1988, July 16th.
Right.
Flat neurograph, version 6. Good. All files in order.
Will this hurt?
It's just a scan. It'll hurt about as much as getting your picture.
Used to have him work on a Minecraft map for a server that I ran a long time ago.
Well,
And usually he wouldn't be on for like a couple of days to a couple of weeks. And then one night you'd see him go on and he'd just spend like 10 hours just... He'd get so much stuff built.
What happened?
Only motivated by deadlines? Yeah, I know that feeling.
Hello? Mr. Munchie?
Actually, if I can't get a run started of No Major Glitches tonight, I might switch over and do like one all Wowflowers run, just for old time's sake. So I've not done that since I got the, since I updated the record. But I do enjoy that run. Hold on. Okay. I thought about streaming Minecraft a long time ago, but I don't know, that's an incredibly saturated market and I'm not really much of a Let's Player. Plus, I don't really like playing Minecraft, like the survival mode. I much prefer to just play a little bit of creative, but even then I'm not much of a creative mind. No, I prefer like doing the server tech, doing plugins and things. If I wanted a particular feature on a server that I was running, I'd just hop in Java and make it myself. Jamie did most of the creative work. Together we got a lot done. Yeah, in terms of streaming it on Twitch or anything, just it wouldn't be fun to watch. Jump into some C++. Ooh. I tried getting into C++ a number of times. I'm more of a C# guy.
What was that?
I know neither of the languages are anywhere near as powerful, but they're so much simpler. They're so much nicer to work with. No. Terrible jump. I didn't turn around enough, so I lost my speed like dragging against the edge. Really? I don't know why that happens with that railing. Like, I land perfectly on top of it, then I take full damage. It's weird. grown to tolerate it. I should get into it eventually, but I don't have time. I'm either doing something to do with the stream or with work. If you want to cringe at a language, I do most of my work using Cold Fusion, which is a very old web programming language. It runs on the Java virtual machine, but it tries to be HTML syntax, but programming, and it's just it's horrible.
Simon, was it?
Jared,
But I have no choice.
Hi, Simon. I'm Catherine. Have you figured out what's going on yet?
Me? I was hoping you'd have some answers.
Like if and else is using CF if,
Where
like
to even begin?
HTML
What is
tags,
this place?
and a
How did I get
CFLs
here?
tag,
And why do the
and a
robots talk like
closing CFIF tag.
Well, you're at Upsilon.
It's just,
clearly.
ugh.
Have you never been there before? Where did you
Syntactically, it's terrible.
in Toronto?
It does also have a more like JavaScript style syntax, but we don't use that at work. No one else understands it,
work? That's unexpected. Did you come directly from Toronto?
Yeah, I
which is a
did.
shame
And it was very unexpected.
because it makes things a hell of a lot easier to write.
Like staff or field technicians.
Only robots, crazy ones. Except for one. I think
I
he's-
guess you're looking
I'm
it
not
up.
Sure what to do.
He said he was hurting.
Sort of. I don't know. What was that?
It's straight out of the like late 80s, early 90s. Hasn't
This
changed
place is
since.
about to collapse. What do I do?
Simon, come to Lambda.
How do I get there?
There are sound trains connecting all the sites. Find one and come here. I'll wait for you.
Shit! Where did I? Oh, fuck!
I don't know. I've come to understand it reasonably well working with it for the last like 4 or 5 years. I'd say I still hate Python more than Cold Fusion. It's definitely up there. I can't stand Python.
How is this possible?
Like, to the point where if an application like proudly exclaims that it was written in Python, I will avoid it more often than not. Really? Simon, could you jump? Holy shit. I don't understand why he doesn't want to jump anymore. This is going behind. The thing that put me off Python for the most part was the whole like Python 2 to Python 3 thing, where they completely broke forward compatibility. And then most of the major libraries didn't want to upgrade. So it was like, okay, well, why would I use Python 3? And then all the new stuff coming out using Python 3, it's like, okay, I can't use both. So what do I do? Did I always tinker around with coding and software? I was always interested, but I never really had much of an application for most of what I was seeing. I don't know, it's really like, when I started doing Minecraft stuff and started running servers, and when I started streaming as well, it was about those times that I started finding actual uses for what I was learning. I learned to program when I was at college, but never really used it that much. And then suddenly when I was messing around with Minecraft, I was realizing that a lot of the plugins that I wanted to use didn't do things exactly the way I wanted them to. So I just thought, okay, I could probably like read the source code, customize it a bit, and then make my own that does exactly what I want. Or lets me adjust the colors or something just to make it more like fit with the theme. Like, I don't have it for these games because the soundtracks tend to be more subtle and more like non-copyright. But when I'm playing something like Burnout or Vice City or something, I've usually got the like the now playing widget under my webcam. And that widget I wrote because there was nothing off the shelf that worked with what I wanted in the way that I wanted it to. So however hacky it was, I just wrote my own. Well, we're going to Delta this time. You hate yourself for hating math. Math's still not my strong suit, but thankfully I don't really need much of that in web development. I originally went down the game development path, but trying to find a job in that industry is not easy. Especially in programming. Like programming, you can get a job as a games programmer, but unless you're absolutely incredible, you will be brought on for a project and then fired a few months later when all the bulk programming's done. Like, they don't keep you around. That's not really a way I'd like to be in an industry. It's graphics programming, ooh. That's all a bit beyond me. I'm more for like just data marshalling and input processing. The sort of stuff that you end up doing in web development. Web development is basically just, here's some input that was given to us, here's where we want it, put across. There's not much to it. Just a bit of sanity checking to just be like, well, this field's supposed to be an email address. Is it actually an email address? Oh, it contains 3 @ signs? Not an email address. It's just sanity checking because most of the people that like try and use your systems will just assume that the information that you're giving them is correct. Making it work and look the same across all browsers. Yeah, it used to be, oh god, we have to support what version of Internet Explorer? It's not so bad now, it's more, oh god, we have to support iOS. iOS is the one that's on the back foot for the most part now. Like everything that I write is just like, oh, it doesn't work properly. And I find out it's just like some weird iOS specific bug that stops the scroll from working or some stupid thing. Also, I'm still limping, like going into this. I think Microsoft are going to be pulling the plug on Internet Explorer 11 support soon, so thankfully the whole like, gotta support Internet Explorer thing is going to be going away a lot quicker. So that makes me happy.
Here we go again.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the stuff that I develop for work doesn't work all the time on iOS devices. And I keep getting messages saying like, hey, this thing that you wrote doesn't work. It's like, okay, I literally can't test that. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have an iPad. I have no iOS devices. If you want me to test on those platforms, give me one. So I'm not spending my own money on one. Like, I'm not spending money on a phone that I'm literally going to use for occasional testing.
I mean, really? How big can a social be?
I'm spending like, what, £1,000 for the new iPhones? I sound like your customers. Oh god, this is slow. Why am I limping this much? Am I even going to make the jump at the end of this? I'm going to be losing like 30 seconds. Plus another 45 if I can't make the jump. I think this run is dead. But we'll see. When do you next get healed? I think the next like forced heal point is like Theta exit. That's a long way away. I have to run away from acres like this. Okay, nice boost though. Yeah, what industry is that, Benny? Or Ben? I've called you Benny for so long. Simon! Oh my god. Limp! I don't care if you're limping, just don't stop. It's about to start counting down. So set the opacity to 0.0001. That sounds about right. Cloud-based system to the tire industry. Nice. Please make it. Fuck.
Are you okay?
Didn't I say I'd get on with this game
I think
better?
you're bleeding.
Oh, that's nothing. It's just my brain can't stop bleeding from the accident.
Here, take this.
No, that's for later, for the scan.
It's green.
Ashley, I need to tell you something.
Don't worry, I'm not rage
Please
quitting.
don't make this weird.
No, it's not like that. Why now?
Who's David Munchie?
It's so hot in this room.
For what?
I might need to open my window.
Christ. Yeah, I'm up.
Hi,
Because
Simon.
I don't
Yeah,
like
that's me.
streaming with the window open because
We spoke
I stream at night,
Brain scan.
and this is quite a like quiet, sleepy little village.
Just a bad dream.
I
Are we
don't
still
really
on
want to be
today?
shouting to the point where I'm
That's why
waking people up.
calling. I wanted to remind you to drink the tracer fluid I sent you.
But I'm kind of dying right now, so I might have to.
Don't worry, I got it somewhere.
Okay, great. Well, see you in a couple of hours.
I'll do it during the
See you
Munchie
soon.
cutscene. I think I've got time then.
There it is.
Yeah, if I can't get a run going soon, I'll do an All Wildflowers run.
But the taste, it's like sucking on a penny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shouting super loud, but noises do carry, especially at night. Tasty penny. It's fine during the winter. My computer and my screens usually keep the room warm enough so that I'm not freezing. And then streaming with the windows shut is fine. But during the summer, I've got 3 outside walls in this room, and that one's south facing. It gets hot. You shouting about a bloke called Terry?
Hello?
That's amazing.
Dr. Munchie?
Oh, hi.
No,
Didn't
like
hear
the
you coming.
feeblest jump.
Simon Jarrett, right?
Dr. Munchie?
Well, it's just Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually,
If anything, they'd be complaining that I'm shouting about Simon.
yeah, it's a study I'm doing with my colleague.
And knock on the
Paul
door in a few days time, like,
Hope
who's
to
this
design a
Simon
method
bloke and
way
why
to
is he so
brain
stupid?
reconstruction to help people like you. Oh, did you take the tracer fluid?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Great. Well, we can start whenever you're ready.
All right.
All right. Let me just get this out of the way.
Them understanding
You
my
are
pain.
Simon Jarrett, correct?
Right.
Toronto, Canada. David Munchie. Born 1988, July 16th.
Look at this.
Right.
This is what I have to deal with. You'd be mad too.
Good. All files in order.
Will this hurt?
It's just a scan. It'll hurt about as much as getting your picture taken.
Indians thought cameras would steal their souls.
Is that so? Well, let's hope they're wrong. Ready? Say cheese.
Why doesn't he just jump higher? It's so easy.
What happened?
No, I pulled the door.
Mr. Munchie?
Are those lights usually that bright? I swear they're not usually that bright. Or it might just be because I got out the window quicker that it's still got like an extra bloom filter on it. Like your eyes are adjusting to the brightness change. Yeah, it was a bit slow. Yeah, they're not as bright now. Run void.
Service console optional 3, including pilot seat activated.
I mean, we're already using gamma boost.
Tool chip found.
The standard fare for the frictional games.
Tool chips.
I love how the panel says like toolchip security cipher updated as you're like already halfway down the corridor with it. Low gamma percent. Oh god. Just blind percent. Again, I'm not doing a blindfold run of this.
What was that?
I still might eventually do an F4% quarter speed. But I'd do that any percent and I don't really have 4 hours to do a run. Like a single run that would start off kind of funny and then after like 15-20 minutes would be the most boring thing ever. There we go. Was that so difficult? It might be time to stop. It might be time to stop anyway. Back on the nice list. He's going way over the top of things now. Like, he's learnt to jump in the last 5 minutes. He's just showing off now. He grew knees. Hey, I've successfully streamed for twice as long as I did for Crash. That's an achievement.
That's better. Simon, was it?
Jared, Simon Jared.
Hi, Simon. I'm Catherine. Have you figured out what's going on yet?
Me? I was hoping you'd have some answers.
I'm being messaged on
I
Discord.
probably have some. What do you want to know?
Where do you even begin? I mean, what is this place?
What are people
How
saying?
did I get here? And why do the robots talk like they're people?
Well, you're at Upsilon, clearly. Have you never been there before? Where did you work?
The Grimoire in Toronto. Is that really
Oh, it's the last
important?
message from you, Spider.
No, I mean, where did you work at Pezos 2?
I don't know what that is.
That's unexpected. Did you come directly from Toronto?
Discord decided now would be a good time to tell me about them.
Have you seen any people? Like staff or field technicians?
Only robots, crazy ones. Except for one. I think he was in pain. I'm not sure what to do.
He said he was hurting.
Sort of. I don't know. What was that? Whoa!
What's going on?
I think this place is about to collapse. What do I do?
Simon, come to Lambda.
How to
But as I was saying earlier, though, I do want to do a full tutorial for any percent and NMG.
I'll wait for you.
It's just trying to sort out a script for it because I don't want to do just... I can't do the same thing that Sai did and just do everything off the cuff. I find it very difficult to just sort of do a playthrough and explain everything without making a ton of speech mistakes. So it'd be something where I'd sort of record a bit of gameplay, do a bit of voiceover, redo some gameplay if it doesn't match up to the voiceover, and just keep going back and forth basically until I get things that match up and edit it all together nicely. But it's just
What the hell?
trying to get started
How is this possible?
that I seem to be having difficulty with.
This isn't.
At least the setup section's a lot easier now. It's just buy the game on Steam, opt into the beta. Yay! Simon, you did it! You're a big boy now. With big boy knees. Yeah, doing the third person angles, you can do that for like just showing where the jumps are. But I really wish there was a way to actually properly record your gameplay and play it back so you could actually watch yourself in third person so you could see like the pink cylinder. But while there is a demo recording feature in the game, it doesn't seem to work properly. At least I've not managed to get it to work at all. Like you can make a recording, but as soon as you start recording, it'll just say like corrupt. Like corrupt save game. Which is a shame. Ow! Get in. It is definitely something that I want to do, though. Because the last time a proper tutorial was made was 2015. It's about time people got a refresh.
Let's hope the shuttle still works. How did I get a flashlight?
Yeah, my original intention was like setup section, like commonly used trick section, Um. um. Okay, she's dead now.
Shit. Are you okay?
What?
Are you okay?
I don't know. I want to go home.
Okay. That was a really good run until that. Whatever that was. You shut up, owl. Fucking owl outside in the garden. Think you've seen everything? Think again.
I think you're bleeding.
Yep.
Oh, that's nothing. It's just my brain can't stop bleeding from the accident.
I think I pulled that out like halfway and then let go.
No, that's for later, for the scan.
But
It's green.
the other half,
Actually, I need to tell you something.
no idea.
Simon, please don't make this weird.
No, it's not like that. Why now?
That's so good as well.
Who's David Munchie?
Why is there never enough time?
For what?
Christ.
Never seen an owl in your life? They seem to be around here quite often.
Hi, Simon Jarrett?
Yeah, that's me.
My name is David Munchie. We spoke earlier.
The brain scan.
Had 11-second time save. Oh god.
Yeah, just a bad dream. Are we still on for today?
Yeah, that's why
I
I'm
quit a
calling. I
run
wanted to remind you to
that was on
drink the
PB
tracer
pace in
fluid I
any
sent you.
percent once.
It'll help me capture a better image of the damages.
Don't worry.
When I was
I-
pushing for the
I promise you
record,
Okay.
like when I was behind
Well, see you in
Terra's
a couple
time,
hours then.
Okay, see you soon.
I finished Phi in 58:51 or 58:52, and you can't do the arc in under a minute.
There it is.
So I got right to the end. I was about to reach Catherine, and then just Alt F forward. I didn't actually finish the run. I was so mad that I was like 2 seconds behind world record.
Taste. It's like sucking on a penny.
Catch the owl and bring it to ESA. New mascot. The journey to the world record in this game was quite fun because I got a 59:59, then I would have got the 59:52, and then I beat it by like 4 seconds with the 59:46. All of the time I just had to run with my splits turned off because just looking over and seeing any green in the second half of the run just immediately meant I threw it. Like the run died as soon as I looked at splits and went, I'm ahead. I'm not ahead. Like going into Omicron and seeing that I was even slightly in the green just meant that Omicron went so abysmally.
Hello? That's amazing. Dr. Munchie?
How did I keep motivated?
Oh, hi. Didn't hear you come in.
Hi.
Simon Jarrett, right?
Dr. Munchie?
I don't know, like
Just Mr.
when I
Munchie,
first
but I'm working on
started,
it. Actually, helping me
I was
with
getting times that were
Is this
like
part of your thesis?
114.
Yeah, it's a study
and I was
of
kinda
doing
happy with
technology,
that.
Paul Berg,
It
We
I
hope to design a
I got down to
deadly
like a
weapon
106, I think.
to help people like you. Oh, did you
No,
tracer
no,
fluid?
Yes. Yes,
I started off with a 119
Well, we can start
and then got my
whenever
way down to 114 and then stopped playing for like a year. And then by chance I went on Twitch, went on the Soma section, and it just so happened to be that Cosmic was streaming his first ever run of No Major Glitches at the time. So I was like, oh shit, someone else running this game. So I popped in and spoke to him for a bit. And through talking to him and watching him stream and getting his time up further,
All right. Let me just
he was asking a few questions about the game, and I was like, okay, well, I've got it installed. I can go and find out, like, I can go read the map script or something. And through experimenting in the game, it got me back into playing it.
July 16th.
And I think my first run coming back, I PB'd by almost 10 minutes.
All files in
I got down to a 104,
It'll hurt about as much as getting your
and
Indians thought cameras would steal their souls.
from that point I just kept working on it. I got down to like went from a 104 down to like a 103.
say cheese.
And I was getting close to the top 3 times, because at the time AMS's 10202 was like 3rd place. And I was going to ESA, and I was like, okay, I've never really run anything at ESA, but if by this time next year I can get, say, into the top 3 on the leaderboards, I will submit it, because I love this game.
Mr. Munchie?
And it just basically became a push to just see whether I could get into the top 3, and eventually I did. ESA still hadn't happened, like, I still hadn't gone there, and I was still just like, okay, I'll push a bit further, because I still have time saving Omicron, I still have time saving Theta. There's a load of places where I'm still like making mistakes. And it wasn't until I got like a very low 101, and I was like 30 seconds or so off size time, like 2nd place, I was thinking, this isn't actually like going too badly at this point. Hold on. There we go. Nicely timed that time. But I don't know, like by the time I got back from ESA, I was still like in the mood to play it more. And I took over 2nd place, and I just thought, why stop now? Why not just keep going? ESA is a great experience. Like, even if you don't go there as a runner,
Service console
it's just so much fun to just hang out with everyone and get to know
pilot seat
all the other streamers.
activated. Tool chip found.
But at one point we tried doing a segmented project with Terra, like Terra, Cosmic, and I. And I don't know, like something about that project and the way it was being run made me kind of like half annoyed at Terra for a bit. And I guess that was part of the motivation that made me want to actually like take the top spot from him. Like, I don't hold anything against him. He's a great guy. It's just the way that particular project was being run just kind of grinded me for a little bit. Soma beef.
What was that?
If you're looking at taking a break, I definitely say give the other categories a go. Like, No Major Glitches is fun when Simon can jump. And All Wildflowers is fun every now and then. I wouldn't call it like a category to grind. But it's definitely fun. As I said earlier, it takes you to places that you wouldn't usually go to. Simon? Simon? Simon! I don't know why that jump is so difficult now. Nope. No idea. Bye, Carl. Speaking of wildflowers, I'm getting this one. Seeing as I have to run around here anyway because I can't jump over the damn desk. I'll see how this run goes to, like, when I get to Curie or something. Or maybe Theta. If it's not looking good, then I'll switch to Wildflowers and try and explain what's going on. Because there's a few clips that obviously aren't going to be explained in any tutorials.
I found the dome ceiling.
There's a few, like, really weird
Oh,
sections
that's
that you have to
better.
go through.
Simon, was it?
Jared.
And also you have to deal with the
Hi,
Leviathan,
Simon. I'm Catherine.
which is a whole other chapter.
Me. I was hoping
He's
you'd
fun.
have some answers.
I probably have some. What do you want to know?
Where do you
No
even begin?
context,
I mean, what
Soma.
is this place? How did I get here? And why do the robots talk like they're people?
Well, you're at Upsilon, clearly.
Yeah, there's no real way to
Where
avoid
did you
it
work?
because we count the WoW itself as a giant wildflower,
No, I mean, where did you work at?
and
Seasons
by
2?
interacting with that, you automatically spawn a
That's
Leviathan.
unexpected. Did you come directly from Toronto?
Yeah, I did. And it was very unexpected.
Have you seen any people, like staff or field?
But
technicians?
his
All these
AI
robots,
is
crazy ones.
quite cool when you look into it.
I'm not sure what to do.
He said he was
Yeah, this is always armless percent.
I don't know.
No WoW flowers is armless percent.
What was that?
What's going on?
It's a shame that you can't get that flower during this cutscene. Oh, Benny. Ben. It'll take me a while to get used to that. Thank you very much for gifting a sub to Spider.
I'll wait for you.
Shit, where should I?
Spider, enjoy your emotes. Which, if you're I guess you can use them elsewhere now, but if you have FFZ installed, then you get the emotes here regardless, because I've got them on that as well. Yeah, thank you very much.
What? What the hell? How is this possible? This is insane!
Jump, Simon. Yeah, Arslan, how's it going? Afraid you enter into Simon can't really jump tonight. Or when he does, the game says no regardless. Had a very interesting bug earlier with Amy. Like half unplugged her and then the WoW tentacles like zipped through the wall. Didn't really work properly. Never seen that before. I seriously question this game sometimes. Oh, come on. What do you think? Are they going to behave this time?
Where did I get a flashlight?
Cut it off.
Let's hope the shuttle still works.
Nah, oh god. Right, the door's there at least. I might need to reinstall my game. I get the feeling that my game is becoming more and more unstable as I play. It worked that time.
Shit, are you okay?
Come on. Come on. Those jumps only save a little bit of time from crawling through the tunnel. A couple of seconds either way.
Shuttle J6 activated. Warning. Unreliable power. Proceed with caution.
Yeah, so just as a reminder for the No WoW Flowers category, the name is actually a bit of a misnomer. You don't actually get all of the WoW Flowers. You get all of the ones that the game will let you get.
Welcome to Pathos 2, your expressway to the stars. What started as a thermal mining operation in the 60s.
There's not a limit for the entire game, but each map handles them a little bit differently. Like the Curie, there's 3 flowers on the Curie, but if you get any of them, it deactivates the other 2. So for levels that do that, you basically just get the easiest ones to get. Curie outside as well. There's two flowers in Lambda. There's one in one of the front rooms, and there's one in like a bathroom at the back of the station. If you get either of them, it disables the other one. There's a few cases like that.
Lambda is Pathos 2's shipping dock and transportation hub. There you will be able to find shuttle trains leading to all the other parts of the station.
Yeah, it's basically you get all of the WoW flowers that the game will let you get. Plus the WoW itself. So Simon's just sat on this tiny little chair, going full speed. He can see he's about to crash, but doesn't like make any effort to brace himself. He has no seatbelt either. Like, the least he could do is like tuck himself behind the chair or something. No, he just kind of like, oh shit. Braces himself with his face on the glass. True. Plus 20. Really not happy with this pace. I blamed Crash earlier. I'm just going to blame everything on Crash.
Here we go again.
Again, restarting. This is like the second time tonight that I've made it to this split, so I don't know, I kind of want to just keep going. I can get this time back in Omicron. It just would have been nice to make it there without this time loss. How much time do I have to save in Curie, actually? Not Curie, Theta.
I can find Lambda, right? I mean, how big can this ocean be?
Mouse wheel's too sweaty. It's ribbed. It's fine. It's got grip. You don't really need the mouse wheel much in Soma. It's ribbed. Mouse wheel is ribbed for pleasure. Wait, what? Trying to get an extra jump off that rock. Didn't work. At least he's kind of jumping at the moment. Why do I even speak? If I unplug my microphone, will the game not be able to hear me and therefore I can play better? No, up. Twitch integration. Could you imagine like a Soma Chaos mod? I tried making one once. That was interesting. Hey, gold Curie outside.
Alright, we're in. Let's find a working escape vessel.
Even with not jumping. Spawn 100 Terrys. Only 100? Hey, buddy. Yeah, I made like a couple of random effects that I wanted to try and integrate into a Chaos mod. Like one of them would just like randomly invert your camera. One of them would toggle the map state from being underwater to like inside station, kind of like physics. Oh god, why are you still there? You gonna walk? Are you gonna move at all? No, he's not. Why? That's like good entertainment. I don't know, like the most difficult part was just running it on a timer in the background. And that wasn't even like doing any kind of Twitch integration. I don't know if Twitch integration would be possible. Screw it. I'm going to... Okay, you don't spell flowers with a K. I got a gold, so I can save that one. Ooh, it's been a long time since I loaded these splits. Did I? Oh, I didn't put floaters. I thought I'd actually typoed that for a sec. Alright, this is going to be an absolute mess, but could be fun. I've not done this in a while. See if I can even remember where they all are. Hey, I get to use glitches again. Yay.
Are you okay, Simon? I think you're bleeding.
This entire time I've had the solution to the arc simulation puzzle open on my other screen. I didn't even make it to Theta.
No, that's for later, for the scan.
It's green.
You feel you could get second place in the All Wildflowers Safe Mode category? I think you could.
Tell you something.
Simon, please don't make this weird.
No, it's not like that. Why now?
Who's David?
It's a good category.
Why is there never enough time?
It didn't see much in the way of people running it because it is kind of a meme category. Yeah, sorry, Aslan. I'm doing a different category this time. This is getting all of the wildflowers that the game will let me in one run.
My name is David Munchie. We spoke earlier.
The brain scan. I remember.
Suck on penny %.
Yeah, just a bad dream. Are we still on for today?
Is there even a penny in the entire apartment?
I wanted to remind you to drink the tracer fluid I sent you. It'll help me capture a better image of the damages.
Don't worry, I got it somewhere.
Penetration %. Get it right, get it right.
See you soon.
It's Simon Jarrett's deep sea fisting adventure.
There it is. It feels like milk, but the taste, it's like sucking on a penny.
Gold? No. But who's Penny? Yes. Why is Jesse's picture a fucking radish as well? With glasses on.
Won't find me in a photo booth. All a big setup.
I'm probably gonna miss at least one flower in this run.
Hello? Dr. Munchie?
Bug them for a patched subway train.
Oh, hi. Didn't hear you come in.
No.
Simon Jarrett, right?
Dr.
Yeah, fuck you.
Well, it's just Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it. Actually, you're helping.
Upsilon awake. There is one flower.
Yeah, it's a study I'm doing with my colleague Paul Berg. We hope to design a gentle way to work with brain reconstruction.
See me ending up behind his back.
Did you?
It's not happened in a few days, but
Great. Well, we can start
it doesn't
whenever
happen.
you're ready.
It's not that infrequent anymore. No flowers in 2015. Unfortunately, you can't really go outside to pick them. Didn't hear you float by. Like, whoop.
All right.
Wait, if you get behind him, he just turns around and talks to nothing, so he never actually sees you.
Correct?
Right.
Toronto, Canada. David Munchie. Born 1988, July 16.
Right.
Just turns around. Hey, didn't hear you come in. As he's talking to an open doorway.
All files in order.
Will this hurt?
It's just a scan.
And when she's just going crazy.
As much as getting your picture taken.
Indians thought cameras would steal their souls.
Is that so? Well, let's hope they're wrong. Ready? Say cheese.
Spoiler, they're not wrong. Simon's playing blind percent. Just floats in blindfolded.
What happened?
Alright, so for this split as well, it won't look any different to a regular any percent run. It's also been a while since I've done a prop clip, so this might not go well.
Mr. Munchie?
Don't really like that angle. Nope. Whee. This is off to a flying start. No! Come on. Yeah! There you go. Oh, yeah. What magic is this? The HPL engine, version 3.
What was that?
If you pull a prop inside you, drop it and then pick it up again, it will try and force you in the proper part. And in doing so, you will basically... it can push you through walls and things. It's good fun. Where am I going? I completely forgot how to run this. Give me one more attempt. Like one more actual attempt. Because I completely forgot the route then. It's been a long time. When was my PB? When was that one? It should say on speedrun.com when it was run. Like 3 or 4 days ago? No, I mean for this category.
Oh, that's nothing.
A year ago?
Just my brain can't stop bleeding from the accident.
Yeah, yeah. Before ESA, I went on a push for all of the categories.
Later for the scan.
It's green.
23rd of December.
I need to tell you something.
Simon, please don't.
18.
Make this weird.
No, it's not like that.
For all wildflowers normal.
Why now?
Was it really that long ago?
Who's David Munch?
Huh.
Why is there never enough
Yeah, I've
time?
not touched this category since then.
For what?
So yeah, just got to try and like bash it back into my head.
Yeah, I'm up.
Hi, Simon J.
I think I remember the route for that one now.
My name is David Munchie. We spoke earlier.
The brain scan. I remember.
Safe mode was 8 days earlier. Yeah, like
Yeah, just
at some
that
point
thing.
I
Are
did
we
a
still on
push
for
through
today?
all of the categories to try and update my times.
I wanted to remind you to drink the tracer fluid I sent you. It'll help me capture a better image of the damages.
Don't worry,
I went really OCD on my speedrun.com profile. You'll see that I've got like
Okay,
safe
see
mode
you
normal,
soon.
safe mode normal, safe mode normal. Although my recent PBs in No Major Glitches have kind of ruined that a bit. I wanted to have everything in order.
There it is.
So yeah, I ran No Major Glitches, safe mode, then normal. Then all Wildflowers, safe mode, then normal. Then any percent safe mode. Hoping that eventually I'd be able to get another PB in any percent. Which I did eventually. But I can't really do that again because then I'd be betting on getting an any percent world record again, which is not really going to happen. I think I touch Hitman again. I did enjoy playing that game. There's not that much time left to save in terms of the any percent route. I do eventually want to give max ratings a go, but that is really difficult. And the other thing is that game, like Need for Speed, really likes to crash. I got lucky on PB and it didn't crash on me. Hitman Absolution, I ran once. I did one stream of it. But I'd like to do it again. It was good fun. Any percent is just the I don't give a shit category. Just shoot everyone, and if you get spotted, just shoot whoever spotted you.
Oh, hi. Didn't hear you come in.
Yeah.
Simon
No,
Jarrett,
almost.
right?
Dr. Munchie?
That's the closest I've come tonight.
Mr. Munchie, but I'm working on it.
Casual gameplay,
So you're
pretty
helping
much.
me right now.
Is this part of your thesis work?
Yeah, it's a study I'm doing with my colleague Paul Berg. We hope to design a gentle way to work with.
I think I booted it up not too long
to
ago.
help people like you. Oh, did you take the tracer fluid?
Yeah, the cutscenes between chapters have a chance of crashing the game when they load. Like 99% of the runs that you start will crash on at least one of the cutscenes, and you'll have to reload the game, waste a bit of time. It's not like super bad. I think even the world record has a crash or two in it.
All right.
But I don't know. After getting a clean run for PB that didn't have a single crash, I kind of didn't want to go back to it because I knew any crash that I got would just be random time loss.
Good. All files in order.
Will this hurt?
It's just a scan. It'll hurt about as much as getting your picture taken.
I was interested in running like the 2016 and onwards Hitman games, like the reboots,
Let's hope they're wrong.
but they're kind of non-linear. They don't really work the same as Absolution does. Like Absolution, the other A word, is great because it's just like a linear story that you follow through. It's got it's got one progression path.
What happened?
Absolution's also got one clip through it. Like you can clip through a floor in one place.
Hello? Mr. Munchie?
I tried doing a casual playthrough of Hitman 2016 on stream once, but that didn't really last. No. Fucking extinguisher. If anyone's wondering why I have an FFC emote for the fire extinguisher, that's why. Alright, let's do this properly. There's the one.
What was that?
Yeah, when I was pushing for the world record for this game the first time in any percent, I lost so many runs for dropping that fire extinguisher on the ground repeatedly that I ended up just like immortalizing it as an emote. Okay, remember the route this time. Oh, now you work. Yeah, feel free to count the flowers. That's 2. So I do this in this way because when I go back to the main room after coming in here, you spawn the construct again. So I want to be ready to just go upstairs at this point. Oh yeah. No, you can't walk up these stairs. As soon as you get up the top and you turn around the corner, they lock anyway. That door will automatically lock. This one's kind of scary. I'm on a time limit from this point.
Hey, are you there? I found the dome ceiling.
I have one more flower to get in this map, and I need to do it before the level transitions.
Jared, Simon Jared.
Hi, Simon. I'm Catherine. Have you figured out what's going on yet?
Me? I was hoping you'd
So as soon as this ends, I need to prop fly up through the ceiling and get down to the bottom where the construct normally spawns.
What is this place? How did I get
Not drinking
here?
water?
And why do the robots
I got some cider tonight.
Well, you're at Upsilon, clearly. Have you never been there before? Where did you work?
The Grimoire in
Don't make me
Toronto.
chug
Is
it.
that really important?
No, I mean, where did you work at Pezos 2?
I don't know what that is.
Please, I'll
That's
just remove the
unexpected.
incentive.
Did you come directly from Toronto?
Yeah, it's the mixed fruit
I did.
Scopperberg, yeah.
And it was very unexpected.
Have you seen any people,
Good stuff.
like staff or field technicians?
Only robots.
Giving you
Crazy
ideas.
ones.
This is also strange.
I think
Telling me.
the take a sip reward is kind of a bad idea for a speedrunning stream. I don't really have much time to.
It's about collapse. What do I do?
Simon, come to Lambda.
How do I get there?
There are shuttle trains connecting all.
There we go. Yeah, that one's kind of tricky to learn. Got some cans somewhere. He didn't have any dignity anyway. Oh no, I'm back here. This map has no flowers,
What the hell? How is this possible?
which is always nice.
This is insane! Where did I get a flashlight?
How come we can't see the suit before? It's like his brain is kind of superimposing it. Flying on sheet metal doesn't surprise him. Nah, that's perfectly normal. Kinda. You see when he wakes up and he like flashes back and forth between the suit and his arms, that's his brain suddenly going, hold on, I should be dead right now, something's not right. And it's starting to like realize that things aren't as they're supposed to be. But up until that point, he just assumed that he was still exactly the same. It's like zero gravity. brain also has cache. Oh yeah. Tech brain. In Simon's case, it's got a whole, like, 8 kilobytes. Yeah, it's like thinking about it more and more as the game goes on. I don't think you want to use that one. I never bothered.
Let's hope the
Even my
shuttle
gold split doesn't include it. It just never made sense to me why you'd want to throw away that many runs with it. I'm hearing a weird clanking noise.
Jesus Christ!
I think that's just the oil. Yeah, it's just the oil dripping on something. Head down there, regulate any percent from here until you get to the end of the tunnel. Can someone exclamation mark quote 9? There we go. Yeah, neat. Glitchless runs weren't going too well tonight, so I'm doing an all Wildflowers run instead. How's it going? I mean, this is perfectly glitchless. What are you talking about? This is truly the developer intended route. When I eventually get to the end. Yeah, I'm glad you agree. I like the fact that prop hoverers were a thing in Penumbra. They fixed it for Amnesia and then somehow it came back again for Soma. Ah. Thankfully, this door works from both sides. You can still pull it from the inside. Rebirth, it depends what version of the engine it runs on. If it's running on 3, it'll work the same as Soma pretty much. If it's running on like a modified version like 3.5, then who knows? And if it's running on 4, then it'll probably be a completely different experience. But time will only tell. I mean, as long as they haven't rewritten the entire engine from scratch, I'm sure it'll work somewhat similarly. Wiki says it's 3.5? Huh. Make it just fall through the map at random stages. Again, developer intended. Yeah, for all the shit that I give Frictional for breaking their engine, they still did a damn good job on it. Like, in terms of a casual playthrough, this engine is rock solid. Like, even in terms of breaking it, you have to know how to break it in order to get it to do anything. And even then, it's consistent in how it works. Like, the physics engine is reproducible for all the things you can do. It's not like some engines where you're just kind of like walking into a corner and just hoping for random chance. See these rocks? Yeah, now you don't. That's what I mean about, like, out of bounds not being a glitch. if something is completely non-solid like that, you didn't break anything in the game to get there. Also, this is Lambda. The only time you'll see a runner come here. Just pop up through the floor. And thankfully, when you get the flowers, it doesn't actually put you in the top, like back in bounds. Just your camera gets moved temporarily. Say the line, Kath.
I'm right next to you.
Don't care, Kath. Yeah, there is another wildflower in that station, but you can't get it once you get the first one. So you have to pick which one you want. I don't think you can actually get the other one from out of bounds. I just went through a fish. Also, this prop is a fair bit nicer to use than the weird bone thing, whatever it is that we use for any percent. It's a shame it's just so far through the map. Mods and VIPs can add quotes. All my mods seem to be sleeping right now. You like the weird bone thing? I'm not much a fan of it. It's dropped me way too many times on this flight. Also, I got way too much height there. In terms of the any percent route, I think pretty much everything has been found by now. You get the occasional find every now and then, but not much really. Yeah, sometimes. Like, at the moment we just seem to be finding more ways to dick around with the game than actually save time. Also, I'm going to take a long route here, because I don't want to spawn the monster. Which, by using either of the other doors, you would spawn him. And chair, come on. Down. Down, boy. Thank you. I don't want to spawn the monster that would spawn, like, right here in front of this door, because I do want to get this. Investing spot. Also, why am I on PB pace? Also, the safe mode runs, if anyone's interested in running those categories. Pretty much all the world records are free if you're competent at the game. Most of the times in those categories was set just to set a baseline time. Like, no one actually really grinded out a good run. So if you want a record, that'd be a good place to start. If someone takes one of my records, though, I will come and defend it. Just saying. Hey, I can do this again. Door. Go away. Ooh, that flew away. That's the first time I've seen it actually, like, fly away. Like, it became one with the fire extinguisher and they both just went for a fly. It's a shame though in this game that they took away what Penumbra had in that like props dropped on you or props like swung really hard into you can't hurt you. Because it'd be really fun if that like door slammed back into place and it flung the fire extinguisher at me and killed me or something. But nothing like that can happen in this game. Like, even if you take like the really heavy items and like throw them up in the air and catch them with your face, it doesn't hurt you.
Station-wide? So we just made a powerful enemy.
No, it's not like that. The AI isn't a persona.
Expecting this channel to grow a huge amount when Rebirth comes out. Rebirth's gonna be difficult. Because when that game comes out, you're gonna have a lot of like casual streams playing it as well that are gonna drown out the speedrun streams completely. Like speedrunning Soma, I still don't get much like I don't get many people come in saying like, oh, I've never seen a speedrun of this game before, like who've come in from casual streams, because you're right at the bottom of the listings. Behind all the people that have like 500 viewers because they're doing a casual spook fest. Any percent safe mode is a lot easier to do because you don't have to worry about full damage. Same with no major glitches safe mode. Like, you can just tank any of the falls. Rebirth speedrun gone wrong ascending room. That's if it has an ascending room. I don't know, do they have ascending rooms in the Algerian desert?
You're the rescue team, huh? Good job.
It's a frictional game, it'll have an ascending room.
Don't worry, Kath. I'll find a way to Theta.
Better bloody do. I should have acted scared. Oh my god, what's happening? I don't really do reactions that much. Like in my casual Amnesia and whatever playthroughs that I've done on stream, my reactions have just been, huh, okay. Even when a pig was chasing me, I was just like, okay. The Algerian-themed fire extinguishers. I'd love to see it. How does one Algerian theme a fire extinguisher? Oh look, angry bacon. You, over there. You, help. Don't really like that this is upside down.
Zeppelin's on its way. Better get ready.
Really don't like that this is upside down.
Good robot.
Yeah, good Kate. Can I do the glitchy thing? I cannot.
Down, we're safe.
Oh, it's really disconcerting popping in and out of existence.
Oh, that's a shame.
Where are we
She
now?
keeps blocking you.
At least that's what you said.
She doesn't want you to kill her friend.
Oh, right. Of course. Is this a Zeppelin?
Appropriately named. You think it can get us to Theta?
It's a cargo transport. They use them for moving materials between the sites, anything that's too big for the shuttles. I'm sure it can carry us. Why won't it work?
I got one flower here. There is
Oh, the
one
tool chip is
more
bust.
to get, I think.
Look who's been paying attention.
This might not even get all of the flowers.
Back it up, Salon.
Then you know how it works. We need to get a new tool chip and switch it.
Care to point me in the direction of the closest tool chip storage?
I think it would be easier to just take one from a robot.
What? Just knock a robot.
Just make a fake profile and swipe for her on Twinder. Twinder? Tinder.
You could use that.
Come on.
I'm sure you get there eventually.
Isn't this a bit much?
It's just a robot, Simon.
We're just robots.
Twinder.
I'll get us a chip. Guess I have no choice.
Twinder is the dating apps for twins. Like you have to be twins looking for twins. Door. Stay. Stay. Okay, now you can go. By fisting enthusiasts? I believe it. I think that was it for Delta Flowers. Might be wrong. You, that way. Not a lot else to do in Sweden.
Don't be mad, okay? We really needed that chip. We'd be stuck here.
Could you do it? Kill a robot like that?
I get attached to them too.
Apparently the 2 meter social distancing is coming to an end in Sweden, so they can all go back to staying 5 meters apart instead.
Talking. I mean, it was delusional, but he seemed sincere. Present.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's fine.
Was he really that different from us? It's just beginning to sink in.
I like long swims in the ocean. Might cut a door open later.
I'm a robot.
Didn't we cover this already?
Guess I've known ever since I woke up at Upsilon. I just keep suppressing it. Like my brain doesn't want me to think about it. It's really getting hard not to think about it.
Yeah. Could you maybe hit that switch over there so we could get moving?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Wee. Right, Theta outside doesn't have any flowers. I mean, technically it does, but it's in use. Robin called it first. So this one just plays out the same as normal. I think Simon answered that question. Yeah, if you interact with Robin before the Zeppelin lands, it interrupts Catherine's conversation with you. And because that conversation never finishes, she never unplugs herself.
That's great.
Thank you, Simon.
What? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you better be.
I can't stop thinking about what we've become. It's clear that we're no longer human. But then how can I feel like Simon? How can I feel like anything at all? I mean, technically, I don't have any ears, no mouth. Christ, that's a weird thing to think about. I mean, I'm making sounds. I'm still saying things.
And open. Alright, what do you think? Door or no door?
So my mind is covering it up, pretending nothing's different. So I've found a good balance between awareness and ignorance. Does that mean I shouldn't think about this stuff, or are my thoughts actually making me cool? Can I tip the balance by suddenly gaining some insight and go insane?
I'm gonna say door.
Cap, before you go, the artificial intelligence you mentioned in the escape vessel,
So this is getting back really early.
is it the WoW's fault that we're like this? I mean, it seems like something an unreliable
Not
AI
feeling the
would do.
door. Why can't I get this in any percent runs?
It's really complicated to explain how machines think, Simon. Concentrate on getting inside data.
That was
okay?
super comfy.
See you soon.
Yeah, well, Robin does have a flower over there that is technically an active flower. As soon as you unplug her from it, it disables itself. So there's no way that we can use it. Oh joy, I have to go into Terry's place. Fun times. I have to get a flower and then try and clip out of bounds so he doesn't, like, screech me to death. Two flowers in this section. Also a door.
Hello?
Sorry, Ben.
Anyone there? Well, Catherine, we found
Yeah, there's one door at the end, which has a flower in it. Just routing this category and finding all of the WoW flowers was quite fun. Just opening up the map editor, filtering by this particular model type, and then trying to, like, go in game and find the ones that are active, reading the script to see which ones get deactivated, and just trying to work out, like, what the fastest route between them would be.
I need it, okay? I wouldn't have made
Scare
it this
catches
far
you off guard. Yeah. If I've not played the game in a while, I still forget about it. It's a spook. Yeah, one thing I got from reading the map scripts is the tower was supposed to have an entire, like, extra minigame section. Like, in the section with Yoshida, you were supposed to, like, restore a reactor to get the power back on. But that entire thing got scrapped. But they still kept it in the script. Bowling minigame. That'd be fun. Alright, here's where my runs usually fall down in this category. Nope, we're fine. If you don't make it in through that wall, you fall out of, like, lower down and you can't get back up again. But there is one more flower in this section, which I can't scan to get out of there because that's offline. I need to grab this guy. And try not to clip into the window. Okay. I'm not particularly keen on this. Because now I have to get this. This spawns Terry. And then I have to quickly clip out of bounds before he finds me. Scary T. It's Big T! So I'm going to go to my safe corner. And try to clip. There we go. And then try not to get bounced out of bounds by this. Okay, we're good. He's up there, like, screeching around. You can see him. He's trying to find me. It's okay, he can find us quicker down here. He has come for mandatory hugs. Confused itself. The music bugged. Glad to see they never fixed that from Amnesia. That screech was different. I wasn't paying that much attention, but maybe. Is this developer still in business? Yeah. They're releasing a new game in a few months' time. A new Amnesia.
Don't move. It's okay.
Like, Soma was a huge success. They've been developing 2 things since. We're just about to see the first one, which is Amnesia Rebirth. They have 1 other project still in the works.
Like couples do.
They make the same thing over and over. They do it well. Alright, dudes. Thank you for stopping by, and have a good night. Yeah, it's not entirely known whether Secret Project 2 is HPL 4 or a game made on HPL 4. We'll just have to wait and see for that. I'd assume if they're taking the time to make a new engine, they're going to make a game with it. But who knows? Alright, if you don't like this jump, this might not be the category for you. Because you do it twice. Soma with a smarter protagonist. Impossible. No! Oh my god, when was the last time I got stuck in that? Playing too much NMG. So I'm going to drop down here. Crouch into this corner. Get this flower. Probably 2018. So my protagonist is pretty big brain, actually. I beg to differ. He does indeed have the fisting down. Yeah, so I'm actually doing this section backwards. You can also do a modified version of the NMG route to get through this and get all the flowers, but neither of them is actually faster. It's just whichever one you prefer. I do this one, Cosmic does the NMG version. Let me get all the way back here and do this again. If I want to do this route, you need to be pretty consistent at doing that. I don't know, from messing around with no major glitches recently, I've actually kind of enjoyed doing this section. Apart from when you miss the buttons, it doesn't go that terribly wrong. I'm not using the best strats for it. I know Cosmic does a few things that makes it a bit faster. But, I'm not ready for that shit. It's easy to forget there's a flower over here as well. Also, the water hasn't spawned, so if I fall off here, I take damage. This last flower, you have to be kind of careful. I would recommend if you're trying this category to get it first, but you can pull the lever and then get it like just before it disables those little blue sparks. If you don't click it before those sparks happen, you can't use this flower. So you need to be really quick for that one. Bye, Terry. Oh, and now we come to the worst split. Why use flowers at all? It's the category. Just get them. For a casual playthrough, they heal you. If that was a serious question. Like, they are the health pickups in this game. Kind of a weird one that most people don't really get when they're playing this casually. I've seen a lot of streamers playing this game casually that just... They get to the end of the game and they still don't understand what they do. All butts percent. Doesn't love a bit of fisting on a Thursday night. Oh yeah. I live for Thursdays. Yeah, this is one of my least favorite maps in this run. Hampshire hobby. I don't know what goes on in Hampshire. Okay. This is why I do not like this category. This room is round, and I have to clip out of it. Have you ever tried clipping on a round wall? Hey, now you're here. Where were you last time? When I needed you. I haven't done this clip in like a year and a half. This might take a while. It either works perfectly or takes like half an hour. Turn that. Grab it. Try and get up on top of here. Chair, and we're gonna have a bad time. I hate this clip so much. There we go. And now, because I'm supposed to be inside that, all of the terrain is actually deloaded. But yeah, that one's not fun, and neither is this jump. How's it best to do this? Nope, that is not how. Joy. I tried it once. Not doing that again. I used to have no issues with that jump, but I don't know. In recent runs of this category, yes, I say recent, it was like a year and a half ago. It's not worked so well. There we go. It's possible to take so much damage, like hitting that. You can bounce off and land like on the side there. I've smacked into the scaffolding a couple of times. You don't get enough height to land on anywhere that's useful, but you can smack into it. Yeah, you can do a juggling jump to the thing on my left there.
Where am I going?
Would not recommend it.
This isn't safe.
Yeah, no shit, Simon. It's definitely not safe when you don't have underwater physics. I also can't put the robot down here because it likes to go through the floor. And rip knees. Okay, it's over. That robot's thick. So Simon. Unless you were talking about Simon. Thick pot. Omicron has 3. But I think you only need to get 2. And then it disables the 3rd one. Because we don't usually get the one on the top floor.
Find that suit and get out.
We get the one that's down here. Then we get the one in the, like, the room with the voice recorder. Meow! First try. I've still got the Leviathan to deal with. Oh yeah, I climb up. Do not let that touch the fence. I don't think I've ever done this in this category. No! That's the first time I've dropped off that in a long time. All the way back. Cool. Hate that jump. It's not that bad, but it can sneak up on you from time to time. If you ever want to see that screen, like in that room done really well, watch any of Junior A Road's runs. The guy just clicks them like a beast. I have no idea how he clicks them so fast. Like, he spends maybe like a quarter of the time I do interacting with that screen. The backup strat of the climber room any day over that jump. The backup strat around the back of the climber is a lot worse. No! God damn it. Why am I spaghettiing this now? I held the prop wrong. Alright, screw it. I'm not going for that this time, I think. Almost lost my box. Thank you. Hello? Can I click anything tonight? I'm just flexing. Everything's going wrong. How is that a flex? I'm coming out of this split like 5 minutes behind. Will glitch? Actually, no. Hold on. Yeah. I will get this. I will get this. Not entirely sure why I went through the floor then. I made it back perfectly in time. What happens when you don't glitch in this game for a while? Hey! First try. Yep, I need the sheep. Yeah, so most of the rest of this goes the same as, oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Okay. I thought it got stuck in the ground. And most of the rest is the same as any percent, except the first time you go back to get the voice recorder, you also go and get the flower. What's with anchors? What do you mean? You mean acres? He's back in Theta. The guy in the main room there is Ross. Simon. What have I taught you? Just ignore walls. It's Ross from Friends. It's a guy who makes preparations. That's literally his only job. You'll see in this run.
So basic, so limited. I hope it's not the Omnitool falling apart.
No, Akers is the screechy boy from Theta.
You know, so we can go into
Poisoned a wow.
up like a recycled can of soda.
You think we'll find one that fits me? I mean, I'm kind of in a suit already.
That's been bothering me too. You know how you were transferred from Vancouver?
Toronto.
From then to now.
You're a snake, Simon.
Okay, so we do it again.
You want to send me to the future?
No, you idiot. I want to transfer your mind into a new body.
What?
Look, we already know it can be done. We don't need to make it a big deal.
It is a big deal.
He's a
Cap.
creepy
It's
guy
a
that likes
huge fucking
snakes.
Deal. There's got to be something else that can take us down there.
But Dunbat at Theta was the only vessel that could take that pressure, and you saw what happened.
Then think of something else.
Oh,
Simon,
God.
please. You don't have to switch this instant. Just play along for
The timer
now.
already ticking away.
Then great. If not,
I'm not promising anything.
thank you, Simon. Have a look around the room. This is where they would keep the power suits, if there are any left.
I just need a picture of Simon now that just says "Don't step on Sneck."
Just like the body we found in the attic. She's missing her head.
Gross. This could work in our favor, though. Look
Yeah,
for a
no,
terminal
not the
nearby,
boot.
see if you can boot it up.
This is crazy.
Don't worry,
No.
it'll work. Make sure it's all bunched together with the structure gel connecting all the parts.
That chair's never failed me.
All right, try activating the suit from the terminal again.
Be my snake.
I can't believe we're doing this.
It will be fine.
Then why don't we put you in the suit?
I was going to suggest that.
You'd go without me.
Yeah, when I submitted this game to ESA, I also submitted this category. It didn't get picked, unsurprisingly. Where is she? I was going to throw the fire extinguisher at her. She's just gone.
We need to loop back the activity manifested by your current. That's everything. You can.
Yeah, it takes a bit to remember where everything is. Like the first time I tried running this earlier.
Well, with the most expensive camera in the world.
I wasn't sure whether to do no major glitches, any percent, or all wildflowers strats.
In case they'd be right.
I didn't submit it under that name.
Don't waste time
Maybe I should have. I don't know. It definitely wouldn't have got into ATDQ with a name like that, but ESA might be willing to try it.
What was that?
Maybe I could do a $20% Soma
Why was it
run.
still talking?
It's the same.
Like, it might not be the sort of
Why
game
was he
for
still
that.
talking?
That's how it works. You know that.
What do you mean?
If no one's seen what $20% is, it's something that ESA started doing where any donations over $20
God.
can request something of the runner to do. Mitako did a Final Fantasy run, which took 22 hours to complete. And it was just a giant meme fest from all of the donations asking him to do things to change it. Like, play blindfolded for 5 minutes, do this, do that. Like, leave the room and go get an ice cream. The entire thing basically became known as Mitako Day. Yeah, in one sitting. It was streamed live on ESA's second channel. So, not surprisingly, there's no WoW flowers in this map. I'm smart.
Are we done here?
Yeah,
Activate the cloud, please.
sure thing.
It's borderline dangerous to your health. I think he's used to it at this point. Right, so when I come back down from pressing the button, and then I click on the chair, do I just click the chair and then hold S immediately?
It's dumb luck, right?
Is that it?
I woke up in the right
Or is there something else to it? Yeah, okay.
We'll never experience life fully.
Yeah, I can't forget that now.
He wouldn't understand. How could he? I couldn't do it, and you knew it. You were right in trying to hide him from me.
Just keep holding S,
I
okay.
wish you'd done a better job. I basically flipped a coin, and if I had called the wrong side, I'd be
I
running
completely
away
forgot
somewhere.
that she said that, so it caught me off guard when I plugged it
You
in.
didn't hit the make sure Simon wakes up
Oh,
right
man.
body switch, did you?
Don't risk my run?
Not that you would know. I mean, he would still claim to be the right
This isn't
side.
gonna PB. Don't worry about the run.
This is awful. We did an awful fucking thing. And you wouldn't mind? Why would you? How could you know that it's not me, the me that I am, the same that I've always been?
Like, if I want to continue the run after restarting this, I could just load up the debug version
Please.
and just skip ahead to after the climber.
I don't want to upset you.
Say anything.
When I was little, I used to
Hey, we
climb
get the
stairs
music.
all the way to the top of the building.
So it took so long.
And I can still feel how I had to, tuck my arm so I could push the heavy steel door open. Well, the first time that I dared go up there,
You only get this music if you're slow.
and watch the smog rise and fall over Taipei. I got all the way up to the corner ledge.
Which is a shame because it's good.
I felt the warm wind in my hair, and the sun was setting, and the streets below were shadowed by the tall buildings. The people pushing through the crowd flowed like paint from an artist's brush. Street food vendors filled the air with aromas of all my favorite foods. For a brief moment, I felt connected to the world in a way that I never had before. It was the most profound feeling of comfort and sense of belonging I could ever hope for. I really never felt the same way again, but I went up to the roof many times after. I'm not religious, but I can see why people would be.
I feel like you've heard this story before.
Makes a strong case.
It seems familiar.
Every once in a while.
Do you still feel that sense of awe? Even like this?
Things are different, but we're still here.
What's the point of going on? Everyone's gone. All the people still left are digital copies trapped in computers at the bottom of the sea. We'll never be able to rebuild or reclaim what we were.
Are you really so unhappy being what you are, or is this about...
If I get this game into a marathon again, I'll definitely make sure to show off the getting out of the chair here.
Even the worst case,
I will submit it again eventually.
they at least included my previous life somehow. I feel so uprooted.
Oh yeah, Spider, you're Denmark, right?
Here that I recognize,
I think
it
from
makes me feel like I belong.
Speedrun.com. Any chance you might be at a ESA in future?
Any different?
It's just across the bridge.
Still be alone. No friends.
time traveler. If not, you still have...
There's a good chance of that. Ooh.
Catherine? Kath? Hello, Catherine. What happened?
Yeah, the next in-person one is going to be October, it's looking like.
Hey, I know it's not much, but why have we stopped moving?
The power blacked out for a moment. I think it could be the atmospheric pressure. It's pushing pretty hard, really testing the
Aw,
limits of my
I don't get to go very far.
It should hold.
Comforting.
It will hold.
Does time freeze when you're not powered?
Time feels omitted more than anything.
What's the difference?
I don't feel like
Can you only go back like as far as you clicked it? Because I can kind of like pulse it.
It's simply missing.
Sounds like sleeping without the dreaming.
Okay, so I need to click away, like further away.
Anticipate when you're about to sleep, and there's a natural continuation since we tend to wake up.
Oh, I got this.
Sleep. My experience is more like an ever-changing moment that never really seems to find closure.
Sounds kind of like a movie being edited live.
I suppose so. I guess it sounds exciting, but it really keeps me activated to the point of exhaustion.
It's rough.
Could be worse. Could be a time traveler stuck in a body made from black goo.
That'd be the worst.
Not quite enough. I don't want to push it though. Ah, it's the spook. I just love that this still works.
You did it. You did it. I will make preparations.
Hi. That is pretty cool though. Is that Acres? No, that's Ross.
Oh, good, you're back.
What happened?
Yeah, the climber just stays there with the jellyfish around it.
Knocks you right out.
Spoke to me.
Looks like a man. One of wow.
I like the attention to detail in this. Like, the only way Catherine can see what we're up to is because she's watching through that CCTV camera up there.
Make preparations. I don't like the sound of that.
Like, those are her eyes.
I thought it was gonna kill you for sure. Glad it didn't.
Yeah, me too.
'Cause I don't think there's any other camera in here.
Looks like we're closing
Damn it,
in on
Kath.
the ocean floor.
Good. Not sure the climate
Go away.
much longer. Okay, so this is the Omega sector. It's about an acre of the abyssal plan used by.
I think that there's a few places in the game where she can still see what you're up to despite there not being a camera around.
Not in a way that'll help us.
Right, the other Eagle's been here. We're following his own footsteps, Cat.
When I had
Like, when you go into her room at Theta, she can talk to you, but I don't think there's a camera in there.
Remind me freaks me out.
And she knows what you're picking up.
Find that arm.
Hidden cam. Yeah, in her spare time, she was a cam girl. It's in the teddy bear. Oh yeah, this entire section, you don't actually have to turn the lights on or anything. You can just go straight through. Like, it's a lot slower to go through the map this way, but for someone who's trying to pick this game up casually, it's the easiest one to understand because you literally just follow the path. You don't have to stop at any of the stations, you just keep running. I will be stopping here though because there's flowers in each one. Also, we get to see the absolute... No, you don't have to activate the guide bot or anything. Out that way. We get to see the worst enemy in the game. Well, actually, we don't get to see the worst enemy, we just get to know that it's behind us, following us, being useless as always. And that is the viperfish. As you run through this section, a large school of them spawns behind you, but it's so slow that it has to keep teleporting to keep up with you. And they do very little damage if they catch you. So if I was to turn around here, you'll see eventually somewhere. Oh, there they are. They came up behind me. Yeah, they just kind of like float around. They will attack you if they get close, but they do next to no damage at all. Hey, buddies. Oh, there we go. And then once you pass this arch, they can despawn. But normally, if you just run through that section, they have no chance of catching you. It's for the people who want to stop and explore the containers that suddenly they find they've been ambushed. Just gonna leave that there. Yeah, the guide bot is kind of slow. It takes a very like meandering path through this section, but you don't need it. Basically just line up in this sort of direction and keep just running in a straight line, and you'll pass through. It doesn't protect you from the Leviathan. The Leviathan was scripted to attack just the robot. Just gonna head past these rocks. Head past this rock. And eventually I'll see the green light of the lanterns that are put down. And if you don't like spiders, I would recommend you look away for a bit. I did warn you. It's alright, they're all friendly. What spiders? These spiders. Where's my container gone? Oh, there it is. Unless it's one of the hallucination effects, you might be thinking of the cockroaches that spawn on your screen. But I don't think spiders ever happened in Amnesia. Hey, Ross. Just kind of casually T-posing. Never seen that before. My game's been acting really weird tonight. A transport station, Ross being weird. Yeah, obviously going the inbounds route, you do end up going a lot slower. Because you hit all of the storm triggers. That's his revenge. Actually, because you're outside of the chair, maybe he spawns there because... Why did I take... Oh, yeah, I do need to take this with me. Bringing this with me literally saves, like, 5 seconds? Because in any percent, we use this to clip out of bounds so that we don't have to, like, you know, go through the level normally. In this, I actually grab this to clip out of bounds just to go immediately back in bounds again. Just so I don't have to wait for the airlock to open. It's literally just to skip this door. Because I'm not a fan of that door. So I'm not going to spawn down there because I want to save the... I actually want... The other purpose is I don't want to hit this autosave just yet. I want to drop down there and clip inbounds and grab this flower. So the last thing I want is a save to have to then come back in and get this flower, because this next clip out is frustrating. Grab the old jerry can. Put it down like that. Grab it from like as far away as you possibly can, so that you can pull it right inside you and clip out of here. Then get up on top of the level. Then get the save. And now this shit. I hate this. And it's been a long time since I've done it. Jump, slide across that. Drop onto that. Hello. Could I get the flower, please? Thank you. I wish this would just clip me back in bounds, but unfortunately it doesn't. Okay, made it. It's very easy to fall off there. And after all that, I've got to do this jump. I wish there was another autosave. There's a lot of stuff to get snagged on doing this. I still hate that jump.
You're...
I think I'm doing this section correctly. Grab this one, and then rather than clip in through the door, rather than doing this the normal way, you can just crouch out of there, pop that down, push the door, then go get the wildflower upstairs. Some nice last words. Move on site. Nice little interruption. Move on, my snake. Ooh, gold tower inside. Even with, like, stopping to explain things. I think in PB I might have made a couple of, like, safety saves. Because that level is rough. Hello? Prop? That works. Yeah, Spider, I don't know if you use this way of getting out, but I would recommend it over the getting out through the side if you're not. It's so much easier. You do use that way? Okay. It's one of the things I see when people like follow the tutorial and they start trying to get out the sides, like trying to crouch out through that little gap is just horrible. Yeah, you can get a surprising amount of like you can just climb and fall with this one. It's such a good prop to fly with. Well, I'm taking a slightly different route because it's off to see the wow. I'm just gonna drop from here. Yeah. Hey. And before we even get introduced, hey, wow. Snakey's here. Hiss, hiss. The thing is, he's just had his left arm, like, completely destroyed by that. But any subsequent flowers, he uses his right arm again. Like, you know what these things can do to you now. Why use your good arm? F for Ross. Gone too soon. Right, off we go. So, the Leviathan's AI works quite interestingly. It will only attack you if you're out of cover, which it detects by saying whether forward, backward, left, right, or above you. If any two of them are like within a meter or so of cover, it'll consider you to be covered. So there's some places where you can stand where the game thinks you're in cover when you're quite obviously like out in the open. And we do make quite good use of those. Other than that, the longer you spend outside, a charge meter will slowly tick up, and when it hits a certain value, he'll start a charge on you that is almost unavoidable. So I'm just going to crouch there, and the game thinks I'm in cover here. So that meter is like slowly ticking back down again. Just going to make my way to the next flower, because there's 4 in this section. Once I reach the halfway point, rather than the counter going up to like, I think it's 10 it has to count up to, there's a random dice roll and occasionally it will say, okay, he will rage at like 2.5, which is like his normal resting point. So sometimes you just get an unavoidable charge. Actually, I'm gonna just rest in here for a bit. He doesn't care about lights anymore. He also apparently doesn't care about rocks anymore. Go straight through him. I could have run up to here, honestly. Yeah, as much as possible, you want to like keep moving during this. Little sections like this counts as being in cover. This is the halfway point, so he can start a charge now. Like, really easily. But as long as you stay covered and don't spend too much time out, he's mostly harmless. Yeah, there's a charge. You need to get into cover, like, super quickly if he starts charging. And then with the time it takes to get this last flower, by the time you finish this animation, you're pretty much at 0 again on his meter. So at this point you can just run up. Once you get here, he'll start like charging at you and then retreating because he can't come near the light of Phi. So he'll try and get me and then just like immediately back off again. But hey, that was Tower Escape. The Leviathan's actually a really cool enemy, and it was cool rooting this category to actually like play around with him. Like reading through the script and using the debug tools to work out how his AI works and like keeping track of what his current charge is. I like this category because it was my chance of coming into a game that had already been rooted to pretty much its completion, and then just tear it apart and try new things.
This has to be Phi, right?
I hate Phi.
Made it here in one
I
piece.
hate Phi. Spider, if you don't like this clip, I would suggest not running this category. Because you have to do it twice. Because now I've got that, I want to set this book up, back up against this, strafe right so I can actually get past the wall, and then clip in here. Just let me push me down here. Because of course there's a wildflower in a bathroom. Just fisting a urinal. Right, they're using a different brand of urinal cakes right now. A second climax. Right, now I'm out of there. Go around and grab this book. The A to Z of collected reports 9. Is that issue 9 or there's 9 reports in it? It's not really an A to Z if there's only 9 things in it. Kind of missing a few letters. This book is thick but still manages to come out. And flying off this way. You can see the flower at all times. It's this like blue goopy bit. Ow. There we go. Nice to put a floor there. It was easier to just make a square room and just lop the corners off than it was to actually make like an octagon floor. Oh god, the book is tumbling. Oh god, what is it doing? Oh god, that was close. That almost booted me off the side.
I'll never get used to that.
Guess you won't have to. Not after this is over.
Right. Have a seat.
That's the first time I've ever landed on that red thing and actually got any like horizontal momentum.
Comfortable?
But thankfully it was just slightly enough that it kicked me down to the side.
You should be able to use the machines to load the bullet you assembled.
If I'd landed like any further to the side, it would have booted me like straight off.
No, I never tried this one. But pilot seats are notoriously easy to use, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, strangely, I should probably just do a stream at one point where I explain the any percent route just like as an intermediary tutorial. But I don't know, for an actual tutorial I do want to do it more professionally. Because the route's not really going to change much from now, so I want something that kind of like
There we go.
is easy to understand and withstands the test of time.
Okay, ready when you are. Just hit the button and we're off.
But we we need to transfer our minds to the Ark.
We also need to make sure it launches at all, so I tied them to a single switch. Just push the button and we're off.
Here we go. No turning back.
Thank you, Simon.
Don't mention it.
It's an amazing thing you did. I want
Yeah,
you to know I appreciate
it's fun when someone's watching and they're just like, the fuck is this? And you're just like, oh, it's like doing this and this. And like, oh, okay. Like suddenly it becomes a lot less intimidating for someone who's never watched it before. And it also helps like concrete in your mind what's going on as you like run through the steps again. Single switch thing's dumb. Is it? I mean, it makes sense. If you can wire two things up with one button, push the button. I mean, I guess from a programming standpoint, it could be you don't want part 2 to start unless part 1 has like been confirmed to be complete. But at the same time, you can just put that in as a check during part 2. Like when you start part 2, just check, see whether part 1 is finished, and if not, bail out.
What the hell happened? What went wrong?
Nothing.
Depends whether your programmers are competent or not.
Among the stars. We're here.
No. We were getting on the Ark. I saw it. It finished loading just before it launched.
Yeah, I saw.
Then why are we still here?
Simon, I can't keep telling you how it works. You won't listen. You know why we're here. You were copied onto the Ark. You just didn't carry over. You lost the coin toss.
Imagine getting this cutscene in the wrong order, so you rage at Kath and break her before firing the Ark, so you just sat there just like, now what?
This is bullshit. We came all this way. We launched the Ark.
I know it sucks, but our copies are up there. Catherine and Simon.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Be happy for them.
Are you crazy? We're gonna die down here with those fuckers living at large on a spaceship. They're not us. They're not us.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Simon. I'm proud of what we did. We made
Are there
sure
any other places in the game where you might be able to do the hold S to not actually sit down thing?
something lives on.
No. Fuck this.
Could be kind of cool to do in this seat if it works.
Fuck this. Fuck you.
But then it wouldn't really work through the crane game.
You, I trusted you. You said we're getting on the fucking Ark.
We are
I just love the arm.
I didn't lie. I can't be responsible. for
Transport
your
station? Maybe.
ignorance.
Fuck! Catherine? Please don't leave me alone. Catherine? Catherine?
It ain't over yet. There's no flowers left, but
Did it work?
I was watching Ico do his casual playthrough over Discord screen share, and as soon as the credits roll, I was just sat there in silence, just like, I know what's going through your mind. Make lewd stuff to her. Again, robot body. Robots don't really do lewd. Am I sure? I mean, it's just going to end up being like the grinding and crunching of metal. They can still inspect the goodies. You saw some animations, the less said the better.
Catherine? Catherine! I can't believe we actually made it.
Well, we did.
I'm so relieved.
It's okay, Simon. Everything's all right now.
Any other function of structure gel? If you ask Adam Golaski, it makes a good drink. Hey, I got a run finished tonight. Rub it on your crotch and observe. You watched Transmissions again earlier? I need to watch them again. I think I've watched them like 2 or 3 times now. But another time can't hurt. Yeah, it's a shame that Crash didn't work out earlier, but yeah, I still managed to get a somewhat productive evening out of the way. Yeah, going forward, like tomorrow and onwards, I will be doing more Soma. I'm not going to try Crash again. That had its chance, it's done. But it will be back to no major glitches. Because I do want to get that last 12 seconds. It's just getting a run started that doesn't like die because Simon's legs stopped working. Yeah, I'm glad I came back and did this stream. It's been fun. I felt bad earlier just like cutting streams so early. I won't be uploading that as part of the stream VOD though, so that won't go on YouTube. That was just like terrible. Apart from that, I am done for tonight. Thank you all for stopping by. And as I said, I'll be back tomorrow. If you want, feel free to check out the Discord. I think Nightbot just put a link in. But I will pass you over to Matty, who's doing some Burnout 3. It's another game that I run that I might have to come back to at some point because my PB's been bopped. But feel free to go say hi to him, and I'll catch you tomorrow.